Hello, Dane.
Oh, hey.
Nice of you to join us. I saw you at the
weren't
last
on
second
yet.
there. What?
Were you on already?
I'd already hit go, and then I was like looking around, like, oh, Dane's here.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna do it live. Let's do it live.
Just do it live. Expletive, just do it live.
How you doing, Dane?
I'm fantastic.
That was good to hear.
How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good. I'm saying I like my new setup here. With the second monitor, instead of having to look over here,
Okay.
way far away, and I can close my laptop so it's not taking off while I'm trying to use it just as mission control.
Yeah.
Although, real talk, because I have my laptop closed right now, I just put my finger on top of the laptop to try to move the cursor on the monitor in front of me. It does nothing.
I that is one tough part is you get kind of used to like your typical, I want to say lingo because that's what it feels like fingo. It's like finger lingo. It's fingo. It's kind of like no, never mind.
Just leave it at that.
I was gonna say it's like driving, and I've seen a lot of fingo in the past. Luckily, not lately. I don't like fingo when I'm driving.
So leave it at that. How's everybody doing? See, Cindy's here, Kelly's here, Jeremy's here,
Hey.
Katie's here, Beth's here, Liz is here. Pretty quick.
I feel like we need some kind of really cool. Maybe StreamYard can get on top of this, but like when football teams they break through the little like banner thing.
Like to start it?
Yeah, we need
Like that?
we need something we need something to that effect for all the people on the stream. So it's like actually there's a really good Office episode where Dwight is hosting a party and Jim kind of tricks him into buying this fake book about hosting.
One second,
parties.
Dane. People are saying, can you turn your microphone up a little bit?
Well, I have it automatically adjusted.
Well,
Maybe I should just
there's been more than
unautomatic it.
3 requests.
So hold on. Let me just.
So-
How's this? Is that better?
I think it's good.
Is that louder?
I think so. I can turn myself down maybe. I'll try
'Cause
that.
I'm almost like maxed on my thing. I'm seeing fun red stuff.
There you go.
Is
Let's
that
go
better?
with that. Let's go with that.
All right.
Can't all sound like Brendan all the time.
We'll shibby.
Sorry, I sidetracked you there.
That's okay. I don't think there's another side to that track. I think we got enough out of it that we needed. It's like I feel like people know what we were talking about somewhere.
I think so. I agree.
My mic always seems quiet. You know what it is, Katie, a little bit is the fact that and I have to say that for a split second until I saw the last name, I was guessing at Katie because right now I don't know what it is, but I cannot see for the life of me.
Just in general, like your vision.
No. My
not
vision's
good
fine.
today?
It's my computer. I think that
Oh.
maybe it's the brightness. I think it's Rex's fault.
I'm
I
looking.
don't want to move my camera right now, but he's sitting in the corner. Just, I don't want to say licking himself because that sounds dirty, but he is. He's just sitting
Cleaning.
in the corner licking it. Yeah,
Grooming.
Cleaning. That's grooming. That
Cleaning and
sounds better.
grooming.
Cleaning. He's not going for those areas. He was just. It was like his arm and stuff, but you know.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is good.
Yeah, you don't want to see those things.
No, but it's good to know that the animals keep themselves clean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So Dan, I don't want to start off with not so good news. Did you see the news about 89X today?
Actually, I saw that right before I was
The sad face.
running around like a banshee with my head cut off today a little bit, but But no, I did see that. I was sad to see that. 89. They were the first ones that ever put Dead Set on the radio, and actually they were the first ones that ever put Tense Machine
Tense
on
on
radio,
as well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were the first. They were the first for both of those.
But they're not done. They're just changing formats.
Well, in the press release was something along the lines of fans of 89X might not be a fan of the new format.
I wonder how hardcore
whatever
that's
that
gonna be.
means. It doesn't sound good though. It's too bad. I had a couple people, also a couple industry people, reach out to me about it, and it's like to kind of get into it. Real talk, with being a rock band in Canada. Oh, I'm losing Dane here. I'm losing Dane here. I'm just gonna wait. And then you'll be saved.
No, we had a runaway cat. It was,
Runaway cat, rogue
yeah,
cat.
we gotta know where the cat is, because
Yeah.
sometimes doors get left on
Right.
open, and yeah, you don't want the cat to run away.
No.
Rex is too afraid to run away, I think. There was
Protect the
there
cat.
was there was actually one night where Rex somehow got outside. Oh, he knows we're talking about him. Rex somehow got outside, and if not for Jocelyn, like he would have been outside all. Okay, that's fine. Go do your thing. Like, you don't want to play? That's fine. But it was, and then you'll be saved. Yeah.
Just hopping back to the 89X.
Sorry,
thing.
back to the.
Yeah, I had a couple
89X
industry
thing.
people reach out today about that, and it's like being a rock band in Canada, because there was a lot of confusion as to why the game plan for Dead Set was to just start in the States and just go full bore down there, and not worry about playing Toronto or worrying about servicing singles to Canada and stuff like that. I think there was about 7 Canadian active rock radio stations at the time across the country. And again, there's 34 million people here now. And it's like, you've got about 7 stations. I think we're down to 5 now. We might be down to 4 now. So again, if you're a rock band in Canada, and I'd like to expand on this more on one of the Dear Bands live streams, but it's just like rock bands in Canada, like you're looking the wrong way. It's just, it's too tough. If you want to play for fun, great. Canada's going to be great. But if you're trying to make a go of things, and as far as business goes and stuff, it just doesn't work. And when you don't have the support from the radio stations either, it's just that much harder to get the word out. So, because again, you play Windsor, you play Detroit, or you play.
So that's actually something that I'd love to dive into just a tiny bit more.
I would love to.
Not I
Love to
don't
dive
mean I definitely don't mean I disagree with you. I'm thinking of the fact that like younger musicians that are writing, because I feel like there's 2 sides to the coin. There's rock bands that they're writing rock music, just straightforward rock music, because that's running through their veins. That is what they are. And then there's rock musicians that are writing rock music because they enjoy playing it, and it brand wise works. What would you say to aspiring musicians coming up, and songwriters as well, in Canada, to address that?
As I've had this conversation with bands in the rehearsal spaces, or just on meetings and stuff, but it sounds weird, but my first question was, does anyone have a criminal record? Does anyone have a DUI or an assault charge or anything?
Yeah,
and
basically, can you cross the border?
Can you cross the border? And because they'll either they'll laugh it off, or someone will stay quiet and go, yeah, I had a problem in college, university, or something like that, but it's fine. It's no, it's not fine. Make sure you've got that kind of pardoned, and that's dealt with, and usually costs some money. So I do tell them, just look at the states, look at going down through New York and cycling over to Wisconsin basically and coming back. That's where you want to go. You don't want to do the 401. You know, you don't want to do between Toronto and Montreal. It's like you want to be able to go down to the States
Not
and
to
do
say
stuff.
that we don't love playing those places.
We do,
that,
but
that can't be. I think what you're getting at is that can't be like that can't be your only option. That
it's
can't
not going to
be your
work
every
financially.
year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to work financially. And it's like you can go and play, you know, 4 or 5 states and get 20 or 30 shows out of it over 3 or 4 months compared to doing the 401. It just doesn't really work that well. I do want to, I did it again. I tried to use my laptop as a touchpad. I do want to point this out. Cindy was asking, is it true it's cheaper to perform in the States than in Canada? It's more cost effective because food's cheaper, gas is cheaper, and hotels are a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And then also, real talk, the guarantees are better. It's just the culture in Canada for shows. It's not really there to pay the bands. So
I find that in Canada, if you're a working musician, which Mike, Brendan,
definitely Brendan,
definitely like all are.
definitely Dane.
Well, no, you are as well. It's a different form, but at the same time, it's working musician. Anyway, point being is, it's a lot more lucrative in the cover circuit.
Right.
Because I know I have friends that and honestly, like I never made more money than when I was just strictly just playing in cover bands and doing weddings and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs and all that stuff. Because I was paid almost every day. And when you're on the road and you're a band playing original music, like it's a very different thing. So yeah, I
those are my first 2 things, and if they look at me sideways, I'd be like, it's gonna be tough if you want to sleep in your own bed and not invest and not do the dirty work sort of thing of what it takes to kind of get out there. But then again, like the landscape could change a lot in another 4 or 6 months when I think we get shows back. So
I very much hope that it gets to that point, because as much as like it is grueling at times to be on the road. I think the way that things are now, it definitely it needs to go up. Like it needs to get better.
Yeah.
And I think it can't go. I need to knock on some wood. Never mind. I can't find any.
I just, in the meantime, while Dane's looking for some wood, Jeremy Isbell said wedding bands and tribute bands are still making good money.
No,
what?
You cannot. You can.
Just saying.
Okay.
And then Cindy said it basically have to guarantee sell at a venue to perform in Canada, which makes sense. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that as far as because again, a big part of what I do, as far as like managing band, tour managing, working on the numbers and financials, it's like it's putting stuff into spreadsheets, and you got to make sure it balances out. Not every show is going to be a home run. Not everyone's going to be a taco joint. To shorten the form that we had for the names of some of those places. But when you're touring in Canada, gas alone is going to just destroy you on the spreadsheet. Hotels are going to destroy on the spreadsheet. They're way more expensive.
And the grind in between.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that will kill you in Canada if you're not somewhat a seasoned and I don't even want to use this term because it just I feel like every ounce of rebel drains out of me. But like if you're not somewhat responsible, like you're going to get in trouble because there's too long between the distances.
Yeah.
So yeah. I feel there's in Canada there is so much more it's for bad. Yeah, and it's just tough, and that's the thing. It's like I encourage bands, like if you're gonna go out and tour Canada, like do your best to get with a decent headliner. Mm-hmm. Because it's like it's easier to get people there, and talking about it too, it's like getting back to the radio thing. The radio stations down in the States, they'll help promote the shows if they're spinning you, or you'll do a feature, or you'll do a phone interview,
or something, and they'll help spread that to the fans of the radio station, to the rock market,
Mhm.
and then that spreads it around, and that helps a lot. With, say you're playing Winnipeg, it's like you might not have a big rock station there, but if a big enough band is coming through, the fans of that are going to know, and it's going to spread through the community.
Mhm.
Or and the venue's probably going to that has those types of bands is going to promote it as well. So it's like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff can kind of, one hand's definitely washing the other, sort of thing. But if you're a band that doesn't have a very high enough profile, you're not running ads. Some of these markets, people just don't really go to shows. And as you're saying too, and Jeremy pointed out, like they'd rather go see a Tragically Hip cover band than to go see a band playing originals. So like you're in a lot of competition.
I just
So-
want to address this one. Because Beth, you're saying we're not selling Canada very well. It's not that. Like I love touring Canada, mainly for the fact that Canada's beautiful. But Canada's not selling us very well. And by us, I mean
Rock bands.
rock music.
Yeah.
We don't travel with a banjo, and so there's a lot of radio stations.
I would defend a little bit because there's some rock bands in Canada do really well in Canada and they can't seem to get arrested in the States. But they've done the grind back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They've played the bars countless times and they built it up over like 10 years. Like they've done that grind touring back and forth across Canada, and not going to expand on it too much, but sometimes there's a reason for that. But also it's like that's a lot of work to put in. And that being said too, there's a little bit of a safer rock sound for some of the radio stations here, because they still got to put the money into some of the rock stuff. But yeah, Beth, it's not that we're trying to dog Canada as far as like being a rock band, but like there's so much more opportunity 3 hours south of us being in Toronto right now. We've had a lot of fun touring Canada.
I think the main thing is we're not trying to stay on one side of the border.
We can go both, yeah.
I love when we can go from the East Coast to the West Coast and bounce back and forth.
I will say I did it again. It's not a trackpad. I did it again. Beth's saying I get that. This sucks. Rock music needs more support. I guess this is one of my Langfordisms. If you want to build swimming pools, go somewhere it's hot. It's one of those things. You got to go where the market is for what you're doing. You can't just force it onto people. And Cindy was saying, can a good PR person help that out a bit? Yes and no. If a PR person already doesn't have a little bit of infrastructure in place, they're kind of just, I think in the marketing world, it might be spray and pray and just hope you hit people with your advertisements or with word of mouth or whatever. But it's different if you don't have those hubs, if you don't have that venue, or if you don't have that radio station, or you don't already have like a bigger band in that region that can kind of bring people in a little bit. And again, like Real Talk with Dead Set, there was the My Darkest Days connection there. And as Nick said on the Dear Bands podcast, it's like, it was an easy sell for him to just like put that on the posters and sell that to the bookers and stuff like that. And we knew that kind of got our foot in the door with certain things. With some of the Canadian tours that Tense Machines pitched for, we can kind of use that leverage a little because Dead Set had some radio success in Canada, and we kind of use that for leverage a little bit.
Yeah.
Then again, we're losing another radio station, so it only helps so much. But it's just it's looking at it from a business perspective, and I think it's hard for some bands and artists, and especially for some fans, to realize like that it does matter. If you look at going on tour and you're just like, all right, well this is going to cost $9,000 to go out for 2 weeks, and we're going to bring in $2,700 in guarantees. It's not good. I'm not saying it'd be $9,000 for 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks of $4,500. So yeah, so you bid at $4,500 for a couple of weeks to go out and make sure everyone doesn't die or get scurvy. Or
I'm gonna say yeah because I agree with you probably, but I was trying to read. Man, I can't do two things at once. Like honestly, I'm the worst two things at oncer you've ever met.
Dude, you can sing and play guitar. I can't even stand up and play guitar. And Dane would vouch for me for that. That's why I play drums.
I feel like you could. Oh, I can't do that. Nope.
I can't.
That's not gonna work. Now I'm starting to realize why guys like Bon Jovi will be up on stage playing and they'll take their ears and put their ears in, take their ears out, put their ears in, like 8,000 times.
Is it too jazz?
I've done it. No, it's not the jazz. It's when I put the ears in, I can't hear myself talk naturally, and it drives me crazy.
Right.
Actually, I experienced this. I'm trying to get used to the car that I'm driving, and it's manual.
Manual?
So I'm driving a 5-speed, and like if I was trying to crank Tense Machine for the first time in my own car.
That's what you do.
Yeah, because we got a car.
You rock your own jams.
Yeah, we
new whip.
We got a car now. We're like we're serious peoples. I didn't want to have to take the baby back from the hospital in a cab. I didn't want to have to be like, hey, Mom, can I take the Jeep to? Yeah, I think Jen's going into labor. I gotta, So, anyways,
you got just to make the joke. You got the bus schedule on the phone. You're like, it's coming at 8:17, so if we're there by 8:14, should be good.
We'd be fine.
Yeah,
We'd
and
be
if
fine.
you can just act casual.
Yeah. So.
Got your mask.
Yeah, that.
And I'm not joking about that, because again, I understand everyone's in different situations in life. So.
Oh no, I thought it was for sure going to be a thing, but then, yeah. I can't remember even why I started this.
You're talking about doing two things at once, jamming the songs in the car, manual, standard.
I forgot that, like. Anyways, no, never mind. I'm not giving this away. I forgot a very, like, I couldn't hear, and because the fact that, like, I can't really see the RPMs, so I couldn't hear, I couldn't see, and I couldn't really feel because, like, the bass was kicking. So, Tense Machine.
Mix was too hot.
Mix was hot. Anyways, and so I had to look over. I was like, Jen, can you just turn it down a little bit? And she looked at me with a look of almost like disbelief as to like.
You just got old.
And I realized,
because I say if it's too loud, you're too old.
Too loud? That's like the first inch on the balls.
You might just be going from 29 into 30. Never know.
And that's 20. Now you're just making me feel even older. Gosh.
We're all
like
29.
I had that happen when I turned 27. I thought I was turning 26, and I had my midlife crisis in one day within about 4 hours.
I legit didn't know how old I was this year, what I was turning, so. But I'm turning 29 in a month, so. Oh, man.
And no, not poor Jennifer Evelyn. No. I drive a pretty good stick shift. I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't sound gross. I drive well.
I'm a good drive guy.
I have drive good stuff.
Anyway, yeah, back to the original thing about radio. I'm really sad to hear 89X is going. So
that is a tough one.
It was tough. Although I can kind of say.
But it's not. Hold on, it's not gone. We don't know yet what it's gonna be.
Oh, it's looking pretty gone by the stuff that's been coming out tonight.
Well,
so
pigeon feathers and golly.
I think Beth said earlier it might be turned into country or something, half jokingly, and it's like, yeah. That's the thing too. It's just like there's a a good number of rock bands and musicians in Canada that flipped country the last 5 years.
I have no problem with country music.
Do I?
As I think some people that have dug deeper know, like I had my moment of I don't know if we were really country. It was more southern rock, but at the same time, I think it's the fact that a lot of artists, they have different sides to them. Like they have different tastes, and your taste grows. Or what's the opposite of ungrows? Your taste ungrows. Like if you start singing opera after playing in a rock band, that's when your taste ungrows. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have no hate for opera. I was I
Sorry,
was not
Julie.
an opera
Julie said
fan.
she's got to go, but she's
Bye,
saying
Julie.
I love country music.
One and
Again, we love a lot of music, and definitely when we're on the road, we listen to a lot of different
we
things.
really do. I will say that I feel like we're probably one of the more eclectic. Like if you looked at like a bird's eye view of us while we're sitting in the van listening to stuff, Jen thought I was crazy when I said that like a lot of the time we listen to Lana Del Rey, like a lot.
It's on a good chunk of the time.
And of all of us, Mike was the one that put on stoner music. Like
And hip hop.
okay, but it's the
Is it whenever-
juxtaposition.
it's
the
like-
juxtaposition of the stoner music.
When Brendan would be like, I gotta sleep, can you drive for a bit? I'm like, yeah, sure I can. And I'm just like, I'm kind of excited. So I'm like, I get to not listen to music in earbuds. And also not be tempted to do work. Because I talk about multitasking. It's like, I can't advance shows, reply to emails and stuff when I'm driving. So it's like a break.
You driving was like it was like a double-edged sword for me, because you and I don't get like a whole bunch of time in 10 plus years, probably 13 years. Like we haven't had a whole bunch of time where it's just you and I just kind of sitting there. We don't have any work to do other than not dying. And so we just get to kind of like shoot the proverbial SHIT.
The breeze.
Yes, we get to cut the seagulls.
Shoot the breeze.
And so it's that part which like I'm excited, and that kind of keeps me up. And then I drink like 3 sips of a Monster, and I'm like, all right, I feel like a character in Breaking Bad. I'm okay. And then you put on the trip hop, and I'm like,
It's good driving music. And it's just playlists, and it's good.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel
didn't
the
say
same
anything.
way every time. I didn't say anything. I know that was so funny when I said the thing that I didn't say. Anyways, Kim doesn't know how to
I
spell
didn't know
breeze.
how you spell
I
breeze.
don't think anybody does.
No, I did enjoy driving. I know I probably scared the CRAP at everybody the first time I was driving with the trailer, because it's like it was definitely a different feel on the van, because you like, especially around corners, like you feel it pull a little bit, and like everything's okay, but I remember Reed was just like not okay for a minute. Just like, we're not gonna die.
Okay, but Reed had a way better ability to sleep in the back of a van than anyone I've ever seen.
But I could feel the back of the van like pulling a little bit, and I was getting a feel for it, sort of thing. And you know, it's like, I get
Okay,
it, but he was a
that's
little
still-
concerned. He's like, "Can Mike drive?"
There's nothing that compares in my mind to the feeling, and like we've toured a lot, but there's nothing that compares to the feeling that we had on that one Age of Days tour, when Reed was in the very back sleeping, Tim was sleeping, Seb was driving.
Are you talking about the turn near Edmonton?
No, I'm talking about like fishtailing with a trailer behind us fishtailing. Like we were basically snaking down the highway between Edmonton and Calgary.
No, there was one turn. There was one turn that everybody on the Disturbed and Saint Asonia tour, because I know what you're talking about. There was
Well,
one
there was
big
one, but I woke
one.
up like because I wake up when I go like wake when I go weightless. Like I could be completely asleep, but when you start feeling like you're floating,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, there was one turn on the way. It was from Calgary to Edmonton or something. And it was like this big gradual like turn.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like we are not attached to the road right now, because you felt the back of the trailer in the van, like everything just started sliding, and then we
Yeah.
like caught the road again. And I remember when we got to the venue, because we would roll in around 3, like a lot of the other bands would be there before us. And the bus drivers, they asked like, how was the drive? It's like, we hit this one curve, and he's like, yep, that was us, and that was Saint Antonio, that was everybody hit that. And it's like, it could have been carnage if
I'm
everyone was
talking-
going too fast.
The part that I'm talking about, we were on a straightaway.
Oh, I'm
It
talking
was
about
that we
the
hit-
the curve.
No, and I'm sure
Yeah.
I woke up and I don't remember a whole lot of that tour, but but either way, the one that I'm talking about was a straightaway, and it was funny because everyone kind of did the same thing. But I remember one of, I'm not gonna mention who it was, but somebody was like, it wasn't Mike, by the way, and it wasn't Reed, by the way. It was someone
Really
else.
narrowing
wasn't
it
me
down.
either.
You're narrowing it down a lot here.
Well, no, that still leaves 3 people. That's
That is true.
That's
true.
just. That's just. Anyways, so somebody kind of like sat up and was like, "Okay, I think maybe we should do something different." And we're all kind of like, "Man, I think we're actually on an open ocean. I think we're driving along a big patch of ice. We might be on Lake Ontario. So if anyone has like fly fishing gear."
Oh, there was a time where our GPS like put us in a body of water. That was fun too.
That reminded me of an Office episode also.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, we are actually driving through the lake right now, according to the GPS. That's good.
Well, and it took us on some weird secondary roads, that route too. Like I remember us almost. I give it up to both Matt and Tim, because they got us out of some situations on that one where I would have been like, all right, who's got a number of a tow truck? Like, let's call people that know better than us.
We didn't
And they got
have,
us out.
Did we have any vehicle problems on that tour?
No vehicle problems. I just mean remember that we turned down like a secondary road, and we got to a point where we were just like, nope. We got to back up. And so we actually had to back up with a trailer, not too far, but far enough that it was like both of us outside. I'm in like 8 different winter coats. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, go this way. That's
one of the toughest things on tour, especially in Canada or just in colder climate. And that's one of the difficult things packing for tour. 'Cause it's like you can be in Madison, Wisconsin, like 1 week, and then be in Houston, Houston, Texas the next week, and you're just like, I don't have the right kind of clothes for stuff. But then also like getting a good winter coat and know that it'll survive tour, because like things just don't survive.
Yeah.
Things get messed up. They get ripped. They get wrecked, and you're just like,
The arms fall off and stuff.
Sometimes your coat explodes. Yeah, it's just like there's a lot of things where I always tell people like, just don't bring anything precious on tour with you, because it might not make it.
Actually, you know what? That's a Dear Bands thing that you should do, because that actually, there's been a couple times where I've not brought things, not brought, Brang brought Broughton.
I will say on one of the tours I was on, one of the guitar players did not bring a coat. And I was one of those things where it's just like, how did you not bring a coat? Like, we're outside a lot.
It
And they
wasn't me. I'm just
No,
saying
they
it.
brought a hoodie, and because it was nice when we were leaving, and I'm just like, it is definitely gonna get crappy out as far as the weather is going. Yeah, it's not good, and you wonder why bands get sick all the time. But anyways,
That's another thing. Knock on doors. Wood.
get these kids some
Um,
wood.
Yeah. We didn't have that many afflictions.
Well, I think as far as the curve of getting ill on the road, it was pretty condensed. Like as far as like we'd have minor colds and stuff once in a while, but the extreme ends were pretty
Yeah,
good.
like honestly, I think other than like my arms and legs falling off. on
Again,
the
that's
one
at the
piece,
extreme end.
That was a total different thing. I could still play shows. That was the nice part of it.
Except like for at least a week, you were in your own way, being like, Mike, I'm not sure if I'm dying or not, and I'm like,
It was
I don't
more
know
than
what
a week.
I
That
don't know
was-
what to
I
tell you
swear-
right now.
I swear that was like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
It was
Every morning you having, but you know what? You gave me like the Rocky pep talk. Every morning you're like,
Just gotta
"What
keep those
doesn't
arms and
kill
legs
you
on.
makes you stronger." Yeah, you gave me good pep talks, and so every morning I would be like, all right, and I'd go to the pool, and then I'd go and get a 6-pack of Bud, and I'd be like,
You
I'm gonna
get
go to
through the
work.
day.
I'd get through, but no, like other than that little gigantic whale of a hiccup, and even that, like we still, Philly was the worst. That was the worst that I ever felt on tour in my life.
I'm not
Um,
laughing at you. I'm laughing at a particular spot of that day.
Well, and I just remember
the fridge.
I remember getting to the venue and thinking like we made, because that was one of the mornings where you gave me the Rocky, like you were Adrian. Not that actually we were sleeping in a bed together, but anyways, no.
It wasn't contagious.
It wasn't.
As the doctor pointed out. He's
The
like,
doctor
"By that
pointed out, he's
point."
like, I gotta be honest, if you're staying even close to these guys and they haven't gotten it, yeah, you're not contagious. But no, I remember getting to that venue in Philly and looking at you with eyes. Christmas lights? No, those are ornamental.
The ones behind me, they're like outdoor patio lights.
They're Patillo. They come from Italy. They're Patillo lights.
Hey Oz.
Yeah.
Oh, you got his picture now. There we go. Just took a minute for StreamYard to get the picture.
Oh, well, he's all fancy now.
Just to sidetrack for a second, Scott. We were talking earlier. 89X is switching formats, so it sounded like
Format switch.
RIP 89X.
Just
Another rock
ripping it.
station gone. Back to Philadelphia and illness and pep talk.
I'm gonna go on to. Okay, yes, but yes. So, anyways, pep talk, illness. I looked at Mike, and I was like, because we got to the venue, and we're thinking, okay, because
This'll
so
be
backstory.
AC.
We had a van with no AC in the middle of the summer. Yeah, and so we get there thinking, okay, venue, green room, ice, cold beer, pass out in comfort. We get to the venue and the door's wide open, and I'm dying inside
With a
already
giant
because-
fan.
yeah, 'cause
blasting that hot
I
air
know
out
that
the door.
Something is wrong, and sure enough, they're like, yeah, so the AC's broken. So, and in my mind, I'm just like, we gotta play, no AC, playing no AC. I'm gonna die, Mike. And I think that was probably one of the mornings where I was like, Mike, I think I might be actually dying. And so Mike looks at me, and normally where Mike would be the guy that's like, dude, you'll be okay. Like, just don't worry. Just that's what today is. Just deal with it. He looks at me. He's like, go find somewhere with air conditioner. He's like, don't worry about your gear. We'll deal with your gear. Just go find somewhere with air conditioning. And so I found a tiny convenience store that had a beer cave. And so I asked the cute little lady, like, had to be 65, 70 years old. And I asked her, I was like, if I buy a 12-pack of beer, can I just go sit in the freezer and drink it? And she kind of giggled at me at first, and then I was like, no, I'm totally serious.
Totally serious.
And I showed her my arm with, like, the massive rash on my, like, heat rash on my arm. She was like, oh, get in there. Like, just go. Stop talking to me. Don't even pay for it. Pay for it later. And so I got about halfway through a 12-pack, and Mike was like, all right, we got done sound check and stuff. We're going to get some food. There's a Subway right by your beer cave. And so I remember, like, taking my beers and walking into the Subway and just kind of sitting down for a minute and, like, talking with the guys, and they were eating their food. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back and sit in the beer cave for a little bit longer, and then I'll see you guys over at the venue. And then at the venue, they had a giant fan at the side of the stage and a big pitcher of ice water. And Mike was just like, yeah, just dump it on you, man. Just go. It's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber when when he's driving the bike, he's like, I got to pee. Just go,
Just
man.
go, just do it. I remember it was like crazy hot in there because I have a little fan attached to my floor tom, and it's usually nice. But that show, it did nothing. It just blew hot air, and I think it was we were there with Shallow Side, and I remember passing it to Heath, and he's like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "No, you're not. Like, you don't understand. It's not good. Without it, it's already not good."
Well,
so.
actually, I think it was Seth that passed me a pitcher of water at one point to dump all over myself. That wasn't the only thing, the only time that I think Seth has passed me a pitcher of water to pour all over myself.
Yeah, no, those guys come through. They
Yeah.
come through. So, yeah, I think no, it was Heath. Can't remember if I said the right one. Yeah, it was Heath. I was just like, yeah, you need this fan if you're playing. So, but I remember after that show, because we had the cooler, and it was usually had ice and ice water in it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a vision of you being like underneath it, and then Brendan just opened it on you, and I was like, I think I do have a picture of it somewhere because it was too good to not get a picture of it. But it was one of those things where it's like, we're just trying to keep Dade alive.
Yeah. That was definitely, that was the toughest, yeah.
I will say, though, I will put it on the record, there was a point in my mind where I'm just like, if we do have to, wrap you up, stick you on a plane, and send you back home, we would do that. And I was kind of, in my mind,
You
I kind of
actually did. No, you said that a couple times.
I
There was a
did-
couple
I did
times where
say-
you said, if we need to pull the plug, like, you need to tell me we need to pull the plug.
But I also mentally had an idea of when you'd probably be in too much distress.
Yeah.
And because that's one of those things too. It's like even when we did the Dead Set tour with Fozzy, Mike Deasley brought out, it's like one of the things I told him, like, you need to be my eyes on stuff a little bit. If I don't look like I'm doing well, because like the guys in the band know that I can grind quite a bit, but like you haven't seen me, so it's like if you don't think I'm doing well, we need to pull a shoot on some of this stuff, or if I gotta go home, be my ears on that a little bit, or be my eyes on that. I think Dane's plugging something in.
Sorry, I had to plug my computer in. But yes, that was, and he was amazing on that tour. Honestly, like, it's funny that you don't realize how much you need people until you have them, and then the thought of them not being
Well,
there.
just the dynamic too. It was nice having somebody like not in the band that could be at merch, because it freed up a lot with some of the shows and stuff. And then the
One,
driver.
he's also a guitar kind of like
and he's been in
guru type
bands,
guy,
yeah.
So he helped me a lot with my setup, because I had
He's a
issues with
tech.
my pedals and stuff.
Yeah, and a wicked
So,
guitar
yeah.
player.
Yeah, he saved my buttocks.
So yeah, no, it was fun having him. Great photographer too.
Yes,
He's just a
he photographized.
Swiss Army knife on the road. What can he do?
He's a jack of all trades, and that's with one F.
Zach, how's it going? Zach just hopped in here.
Oh, hey, Zach.
Came rolling all
Hello.
Kramer styles. How's it going?
Kramer styles. I've tried to perfect that door opening. I can't do it. Honestly, I either hurt myself or it looks terrible.
You know who's good at those? A lot of pets. Because they just smash into doors and then they just fly open. And you're just like, oh, how's it going?
Rex is boring when it comes to that then. Because honestly, he sits there. The door will be like this much open. And he'll sit there kind of like this. And then...
Oh, yeah, the scratch at the door.
And then he scratches the door open. But I had like a weird... Have you ever had like severe... Okay, this is getting into a completely different topic.
Let's go there.
I like the way it's going.
Let's go there.
Supernaturals.
Haven't seen it.
Like not... Oh, you cheeky bugger. But no, like I don't want to say ghosts because that kind of pigeonholes it. But like apparitions, ghosts, vibes, weird things like that. Like have you had those?
I would say I have.
Okay. Like do you have one that stands out that would take less than 13 minutes?
I'm not going to share some of those experiences.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think I have a little bit of a radar for some of that stuff. I don't want to freak people out or make it sound like I'm not all there. But I think I've got radar for a little bit of that stuff, and there's definitely a couple hotels that we've stayed at. Because I would usually just kind of go off and do my stuff. I would find somewhere quiet in the hotel to like work and stuff. There's a couple hotels that we were been in where I'm just like, there's something going on here. Because also I would be up all hours of the night working on stuff too, and I'm just like, yeah. Anyways.
Okay, well, I call unsexual partner.
I don't know what that means.
Well, we're not sexual partners, so we're unsexual partners. I was gonna say a swear word, and so I stopped.
Okay.
Bull poops. Not bull poops that you don't see that, but that's not fair. You should be like when you see that, you should be like nudging us awake and being like, "Hey, someone just crawled on your junk. And
No.
you should know about it."
No, because it's not like that. It's more of a vibe for certain places.
See, that's
and it's not like
exactly-
watched a scary movie and then you're primed to feel like stuff is going on.
That's why I said not just. I didn't want to say like ghosts.
Yeah.
Like vibes, feelings. The reason I ask is because for the longest time, like I've wanted to see these things. And Jen and I have talked about it a lot, but there's been a couple times where like I've woken up and I knew I shut the door, but like I woke up and the door was open and she hasn't gotten up. And I wake up because if, pet owners, I'm sure that you guys know, like you can kind of half wake up hearing them walking around thinking, okay, like what are they doing right now? Like why are you up? You should be sleeping. And so I've had a couple of those where like I thought it was Rex getting out and going and doing something stupid. And I have to be somewhat cognizant with him because of the fact that there's the cat around. And the cat could easily, like, she could kill, dismember, and bury his body without us even knowing. We'd be like, where'd Rex go? I don't know. Anyways, point being, It wasn't until the last like 6 months or so, because I wake up and say like Rex, and he'd come like walking from the complete other side of the room. So I haven't seen anything either, but it's the same thing. It's kind of like a vibe or a shadow that I
Yeah,
think I thought I saw.
it's hard to put into words, but yeah. I wanted to point that Don was asking, ever been in a hotel with bugs on the walls? Yeah.
Oh,
And there was one time in particular on tour with Dead Set where I went, because I always go and check the rooms, because if they know that you're a band on tour and anything's wrong with the room, then you're gonna get fined or charged or whatever. Um, I went into the room and I always check the bathroom too, because I always flush the toilet, so there's no problems with the toilet. If someone's like, "This is a bad toilet," you're like, "Nope, checked it, it's fine, it flushes." Um, but I turned the bathroom light on, and all these cockroaches just started scurrying. I removed, I think, in record time, every single cockroach that I could find in that bathroom, and then because it's always like late at night when we get to places, it's just like go to bed. I think I said something like, "Oh, by the way, keep your clothes on and just sleep, everybody. Like don't open your stuff up too much in here."
and there's certain times where I'm glad that I drank as much as I did during the Dead Set days, because I don't even remember that.
It
I
it was
swear, I
it was
swear, I
it was
do not
pretty
remember
bad,
that.
and there's definitely times like it wasn't in the same league of the vomit motel room.
Oh man,
That was bad, but like this is one of those things where like there's no
prom
time
night,
to
right?
to grab another room or anything. It's like let's just get through this, because that's what today is, sort of thing. There was another hotel in Alberta with one of the bands I was on tour with. Did I tell you this story, Dane?
You did tell me this story.
Okay, so the venue at this particular the venue at this particular the hotel at this particular venue was above the venue. So like you played, and then they had rooms upstairs. The hotel was there, and they gave us all rooms, and I'm like, this is awesome, because we were touring around in an RV, which is nice. We all had places to sleep, but it was nice like having your own room for a second, and I went in there and I looked at it. I'm like, it's pretty. It's got a bit of a homely vibe in here, sort of thing, and pulled the blankets back on the bed, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then like my spidey sense went off, and it was like, check the mattress, and I like pulled the top sheet off, and the mattress had so many. I don't want to just say stains, because that doesn't do it justice. It was like
there was like blood and
there was enough of it had enough of a tint that
you
I was
didn't have
just
a
like,
black light. But
I was like, I don't think this is good, and so I kind of like put the covers and stuff back on the bed, and I just slept in my clothes and my coat. I'm like, this is still good. I'm not complaining, but it's still good. But I remember in the morning talking to my bandmates, and I'm just like, did you check your mattress? And one of the other guys did. He's like, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then there's girls in the band too, and they're just like, ew a lot, because they didn't even think to look. They just assumed that.
okay, I didn't hear this story.
Yeah.
This I was thinking completely of it. I was thinking of an Age of Days story.
No, not an Age of Days
When
story.
okay,
No.
but you know the sad part about that is the fact that you're forced to sleep in like your clothes because you don't want your skin to get touched. But what do you wear the next day?
I think you just block it out.
No.
I think you just
No.
throw it in the old trauma jar, and you're just like, I'm not going to deal with this.
This needs to be an entire episode of your Dear Bands thing. An entire episode. Ponchos.
Tour poncho?
Just ponchos. You can get them at the dollar store, like 3 for $1. Do you realize how ahead of the game you would be if you showed up at one of those hotels?
Like the
and you had
garbage
just
bag
a
style
bag
poncho?
Oh yeah, over the head. Like, I don't look cool. I look like my mom sent me to school in a poncho.
Not looking cool. You're looking hygienic.
Well, and at that point, I gotta be honest. if looking cool is getting chicks, I feel like the chicks are gonna respond a lot better to a guy that they're like, yeah, I know that he doesn't have typhoid.
This is a whole other chapter.
We can just call it Ponchos, the Ponchos chapter of Dead Set Society. You know what? We should start selling Tense Machine and Dead Set Society.
You can get both. They haven't refreshed the store in a while.
We'll take the foot out of my mouth and make money off it. But yeah, ponchos. And ladies and gentlemen that are watching, you don't need Tense Machine ponchos. Just get yourself a poncho. Have it.
Yeah, you don't need it, but you want it.
It can fit in your back effing pocket.
Oh, poncho. It's not a bad idea. But that being said, when you're talking about like sleeping in your clothes and then like I
but
think
if you're sleeping in your clothes and you have a poncho, you're not sleeping in
yeah,
your clothes
no, I'm
anymore.
just like part of me too. It's like when you roll out on tour, there's like your level of hygiene at home, and then I'm gonna make sure this looks accurate. There's your level of hygiene on tour.
Okay, but
So-
Mike, you are the one that taught me that like if
What
you
did I
need
teach
to
you,
make if you need to make I didn't stop at you were the one that taught me. I know that was
And I thought I knew everything I needed to know, and I fired you. And then I was like, oh, I'm running back again.
Lordy and
Then I thought I had everything the second time, and I was like, yeah, okay,
okay.
can this guy?
You know what? You've gone on so long about this, I don't even know what my point was.
Taught
did you
hygiene, touring.
Well, no,
I
it
just-
started with ponchos, and then I had an idea.
No, I was saying just like your expected level of hygiene on tour, it does degrade. It does
Okay,
decrease.
that's what I was gonna say.
Goes down.
You have to agree that if you can plan ahead a little bit and kind of mitigate is that the word, mitigate the circumstances,
Need the context. Keep going.
if you can kind of sidewind the bad crap that could happen.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is in a pouch this big, you could fit like 10 ponchos. And for how long was I talking about the rice cooker?
You were talking about the rice cooker.
But then and Mike was like, "Yeah, it'd be a thing." But then I sent you the thing with the thing that cleans stuff in a
The sink or bathtub.
It was like a supersonic cleaner thingy.
For doing sink laundry.
Man, that would be band 101.
And the thing is, I'm not against stuff like that, but there's just so many things that get broken on tour. And
But
I would
you
just,
need a Tupperware with sponge.
I am not saying you can't. I'm just saying keep your emotions and expectations at a level where you won't be too disappointed if and when it breaks or gets lost.
No, and I fervently agree with you on that.
Yeah. So we've all done the sink laundry. You're just like, I need some socks and underwear.
No, and I've done that. Like sink laundry is one thing, but
I have no more underwear, and I can't do another day wearing the same underwear. So let's get 3 pairs and cycle here.
yeah, you can. You make it work. You.
It's not the
dangle-
worst thing though, too. It's like not to get into sink laundry, but it's just like it's not the worst thing because there's like an end goal of like I will have clean underwear. Because when you've gone 2 days on tour in the same underwear, it happens. It is not good. It's not a good feeling. You hit a point where you're just like, I kind of just want to wear nothing, but you know that's worse.
No, you get like an itchy butt or something if you.
not
wear the
good.
Same... But
It is not good.
sink laundry is not bad,
I don't
and
know.
shampoo is an awesome launderer. It's meant for your face, so you know that it's safe. Like it's meant to touch.
That's a
in
good
and
slogan.
around- Yeah.
Meant for your face, so you know that it's safe.
Forget about it. I could sell face stuff. I'm trying to be so clever.
I'm
As I say that, I'm staring at the webcam that I tried to hook up, and it was the webcam I had before, but it makes everything wide angle lens.
everything looks like a Beastie Boys video.
Well, it gave me some hoobies. Speaking of which, have you seen that Kevin Smith and like they're releasing a movies in Canada?
I didn't know that. I don't know what that
Really?
is.
I'm not playing surprised.
I don't know what it is.
It now I feel silly saying it because it's a stupid movie. I love it. It's a stupid movie, so you're not gonna go watch it.
I might. I watch a lot of bad movies.
won't.
I get in trouble for it. Because I don't.
No, but that's the thing. This one's in between stupid and actually good. So like, it's not stupid enough that Jess will put up with it. It's stupid enough that she'll be like,
Okay.
come on.
Like the grade A stupid movie Sharknado, is it in that realm or is it just
no?
is
gosh,
it not even
no.
good? Okay.
Did you ever watch Mallrats?
I did not. I know that is a movie though, but I didn't watch it.
Okay, so basically,
I didn't watch movies. I played video games. It's one of those.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that is like basically Mallrats. That's what it is.
Okay.
Because it's the creator of Mallrats.
Mallrats. Just keep making, I guess, the same movie ish.
But
I haven't seen Dane's watched like 10,000 movies. I've seen like 10 movies. And
I
like
love movies.
and like 3 of them were Friday the 13th.
I'm not gonna lie. I had this conversation with somebody, and it definitely wasn't you because you like TV and movies and whatnot and games.
I also like martial arts, like old dub martial arts films.
Okay, those are very cool.
Because I not to go on the thing with it, but it's like I love the overdubbed dialogue, and then when they have the captions and they don't even match at all. Because one of them's like the direct translation of what they're saying. The other one's like what makes sense with the mouth.
What did you say?
They would make it longer. They wouldn't just say what would you say, but trying to think of how they would
I don't
word
know.
it.
I don't know. You haven't watched enough Wu-Tang videos.
It would be like the caption would be like how dare you speak like this to disrespect me and my family? I'll get you. And the mouth would be like, the mouth would be like, what did you say? And it's just like you've just, again, the caption would be like, you've disrespected my honor and your honor. You should feel shame. Then you'd be like, I can't believe you. I love it. It's so good. And then the fights, it's so good.
I do like them. There was one. Okay, no, I'm gonna get into a black hole.
I think this is a weird tangent here too. Linda's saying 10 movies, not 10 movies. But a little bit of Mike trivia. I originally was going to school for audio for TV and film, and in my like audio for film class, they gave us a list of 400 movies. And the guy who was teaching the class, he's going through the movie, and it was funny because it was almost like that scene out of again, I've seen this movie, bits of it at least, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I just watched that this morning.
Where Ben Stein in his cameo, it was like that type of delivery. It's like Jaws. Has anyone seen Jaws? Anyway, so he went through like a lot of the movies, and I put my hand up, and I was just like, "How many of these movies should you have seen?" And he's like I'd say maybe 80 or 90%. Like, 'cause these are all classics and stuff. And I'm skimming through it, and he's like, "How many do you think you've seen?" And I'm like 10. I'm like, I don't really watch movies. Like, I didn't realize how much I didn't watch movies until I saw this list, because I recognized all the names of the movies, but I had not seen those movies. I think I still could have been a Foley artist, but which is sound effects and people noises. But
I like it.
anyways, I just watched the wrong movies. So
No, the reason I find that so coincidental is I'm not joking. I watched Ferris Bueller this morning because I got up early and Service Ontario wasn't open until 9, so I had time to spare. Yeah, so I watched Ferris Bueller, and I have to say the Bueller part, I didn't realize it was so long because it's the Bueller part is funny, but it's the leading up to it that kind of makes it funny because he's like going through all the A's. So he's like, I'm a man, Brahma man.
You sound exactly like Ben Stein right now.
That's
Close
what
my
I'm
eyes. And
going
like,
for.
why is Ben Stein at Dane's place?
Are
What's going on here? I didn't know Dane.
Are you taking the PISS out of my Ben Stein?
No, I thought it was pretty good.
How
that was pretty
dare
good.
you? But yeah, no. So okay, I did see a thing about that online. They were talking about a Canadian saying no. It was like, okay, yeah, but no.
No, yeah, so I just did it. Canadians do that. When you say no, you're just like, yeah, no. And when you say yeah, you're like, nah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah, but no. It's like, yeah, no, you said everything right. Everything you said was correct. Yeah.
No, yeah.
No, but everything you said was wrong. Can we go back from the get-go? Thank you.
That is a Canadian way, a Canadian delivery of it. Yeah, no.
That is definitely a maple donut.
I don't know if anyone can tell, because we've gone over our time that Zuckerberg has allotted for us.
Yeah,
But
we
Brendan,
were waiting for B.
Brendan's playing classic albums live tonight, so we're seeing if he can hop on here for a second, because he really enjoys being able to hop on here after the show, if he can make it. So,
I love it. When
anyone
he
have
does,
questions?
But at this point, I am sitting here. I've got my left hand in my pocket, and the other one is not grabbing a cigarette.
The lyric is flicking.
Well, it's not flicking
That's
anything.
that's the lyric.
It's holding. The awesome thing about the jazz piano is when I go to say something stupid, if I just stop.
Question,
Awesome.
Dane. Favorite movie of all time? I'll let you answer that first because mine's pretty easy.
That is actually that's really difficult.
Do you want me to go first? What do you think?
Probably.
My favorite movie of all time is called Kung Pao.
Okay, that movie's and they're making a second one.
Kung Pao, and I do believe it is called Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that movie, aside from it, like I was like in tears laughing at the script for it because it's so ridiculous. But the thing about that movie is they took old martial arts like dubbed films, and they like superimposed the who is it? It's not Bob Odenkirk, but they superimposed him over the films like green screen
What?
style. So like they put him into the movies. So there's things that happen in the movie that you're just like they were playing off all this footage, and it was like super time intensive. Super time intensive for them to actually make that film the way that they made it.
I watched that movie because that came out when I was in college.
Yeah.
And I watched that movie like a ton. But I didn't know Bob Odenkirk.
No,
had
that's
anything
Bob.
to do
One
with
second.
It.
I'm gonna check which Odenkirk it was.
Well, I would think Bob Odenkirk is Better Call Saul.
Yeah, no, it's not him. It's 1 second. I need to look at this now. Steve Odenkirk. Sorry, Steve Odenkirk. But it's like the way that they assembled that movie. It's similar to like
Is he a brother?
I'm not sure. It's similar to Team America where they used the puppets, the marionettes to like make it. And after they were done, they're like, we're never doing this again because it was so much work to make it. It was awesome. But with Kung Pao, they wanted to make a second one, but like And they wrote the script to make a second one, but as they finished it, they're just like, this is way too difficult, so we're not doing this again. Because there's times in the movie where, like,
Did
one
you
of
not see recently they released a thing saying they did do a second one?
a second what?
Kung Pao.
I don't think they did.
I think we might be thinking of two different movies.
Because at the
Or
end
I'm
of
thinking
at
of a
the
different movie than you're thinking.
yes, because at the end of Kung Pao, they start giving some of the teasers for the second one, but they never made it. You can fact check that one, and if
No,
they
I'm
did,
not fact checking. I'm just.
And if they
I
did-
think I'm thinking of a different movie than you are.
but anyways, yeah, no, there's just things in that movie.
I'm thinking of Kung Fu Hustle.
Not Kung Fu Hustle. It's Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I love that. It's just again for technical film and for martial arts film and for a comedy. It ticks all the boxes.
That being said, Kung Fu Hustle is releasing a second movie.
Yes, that is not. But one of my favorite lines,
Still really good.
from the movie, because of the way it's edited. One of the bad guy's characters, he says, "I'm a great magician. Your clothes are black." And then they cut to this other guy, and he's wearing a black shirt. And then they go back to the bad guy, and he finishes his line, and he says, "Your clothes are red." And then they go back to the other guy, and he's wearing a red shirt because they couldn't get the proper edits. So they prefaced it with, "I'm a great magician." I thought it was pretty funny. It's my kind of humor.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no Kung Fu Hustle.
It's pretty good. Swinging the chain's pretty good. And also one of the things too, I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody else if they want to watch it again. Kung Pao Enter the Fist, great movie.
Kung
I want to
Fu
give
Hustle, also great movie.
while Dane's still thinking, because I
I'm
know
not
it's not
thinking anymore.
Because it's not your
That's
favorite
it.
movie. It's not your favorite movie, Dane.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Give a shout out to
Okay, favorite movie? Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Fight me.
Just want to give a shout out to Joe Alfano. He's on the Dear Bands live podcast
Hey, Joe.
on Monday. Thanks again, Joe. He filled in. Super
Okay,
short
no,
notice.
I'm gonna ask Joe because he's a knowledge of knowledge.
See what happens, Joe.
Kung
Show him.
Pao or Bloodsport?
Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh, sorry,
Or-
Kung Pao. I don't want to say Enter
If you're
the
gonna-
Fist. That
if you're gonna
seems-
say
that
the
seems
name-
dirty. That seems like I'm
Give it the
saying-
respect. Say the whole name, Dane.
I don't want. Enter the Fist seems like I'm saying something. Can I talk to you privately?
I'm just saying. Don't be like, oh, Ninja Turtles 2. Like, no, Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Okay, but that one I would respect. Kung Pao, I
Kung
don't
Pao
want to
Enter
not respect, but I don't
the
want to
Fist.
respect just at the same time. Okay, are we back on live? Oh,
I think we're
awesome.
back. I think we're
Sweet,
back.
We're
We're
back.
good.
We had our time.
But do you have a favorite movie? You're going with Bloodsport.
Yeah, I already said
You're
Bloodsport.
going Bloodsport. Okay.
Kumite, 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 kumite.
Okay. No. All right. You're right. I got you. Because that was you. Someone tried to make that the pre-show ritual.
That
With
was
Age of-
for that
with
was
Age of
that was
Days.
Age of Days. Yeah, that was also me. It worked for most people. You guys didn't want a kumite. You guys were kumatosed.
Well, it's like we're already like the not cool Canadian band on a lot of these tours.
Yeah,
It's like
but
Canadians
you know
are
what?
weird.
If we can be the not cool people, like on this scale, versus being the not cool people on this scale,
Just going all in.
I'm down.
Just going
I'll
all in.
kumite.
All right. I gotta get
Okay,
back. I'm
say, no, I'm putting
What?
this.
Joe's-
Bloodsport.
saying on Bloodsport of those two.
Right?
That's, you know what? That's fine. I can,
Bloodsport was
good.
was heavy.
It's
It was
good.
good. That was Jean-Claude Van Damme at his finest. That was when he was classy, doing the splits in a set
That was
of
his
nut
thing.
huggers.
That was his thing.
Yeah, and in that movie he did them, and okay, this is getting a little weird, but I swear my dad had those same nut huggers. And it gave me an affinity for wearing nut huggers. So like I've followed in a family tradition that has come down straight from Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Hopefully, we got a Halloween show next year, and hopefully from where I sit on the stage, I see Mr. Dane Hartzell coming out, Halloween costume, Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport.
Oh, but there's so many costumes.
Well, again, there's
only
one
so many
important one.
activities.
There's only one
so
important
many
one.
activities.
All right. I think Brendan he may not make it tonight. I'm sure he's here in spirit.
Wish him a safe drive home.
Safe drive home. This may be his last Classic Albums live gig of the year, because things are shutting down again. So, trying to keep people safe. So Brendan is here in spirit.
Everybody be
hello
safe
to everybody.
Thank you, Joe, for coming on, and thank you for siding with me on Bloodsport.
Ooh, this guy is kissing up a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'm
kissing up.
My nose may be brown, but it's
kissing up.
It's tasty gravy.
Kissing up a little bit. Thanks everyone for joining tonight, hanging out. The questions, the comments, always appreciated. I'll be on my gaming page tomorrow. Shameless plug. Probably at 8. Playing Evil Within again. You should hop by, Dane. It's pretty good. I got
I have gone.
No, I mean like now, because I got all the upgraded guns and stats and stuff. So I'm just ripping through it recklessly. It's pretty good. So yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night, probably at 8. And Dane, we'll see you here Friday. At a time to be disclosed on Friday.
I might take people for a scenic drive around Woodstock.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun and different. And if you're watching on Twitch, remember to follow. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're watching on Facebook, you've already liked the page. Just remember to share. Just share. That's all we ask these days. If you want to help the band, just share. All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, I gotta find the thing here.
I know, it always takes so long.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Should be like those.
Talk to you later. See ya.
That was just an aerobics thing.
What is this stretching?
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
It's true though. They need, like Samsungs have a thing where you can hold your hand up and it takes a picture of you.
What?
You haven't seen that?
I've not seen that. This is new technology.
I swear, Jen's phone, she can hold her hand up and it just goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, takes a picture.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like I wish. Nope. I'm gonna not say that thing.
Just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
At that.